Amazing. It sounds amazing. I'm so looking forward to it.
Great.
All right. Well, we have two women in the weight room, which is lovely. So I'll flick over to Facebook.
Yeah.
I'll hit the go live button and we'll kick off, hey? All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, women. Hi, Hi, Phoenix Rose. Hi.
Hey, beautiful.
Hi. Hi, Phoenix Rose. Lovely to meet you. She's here live.
Finally got here.
She did. And you got here for a great session too. I mean, they're all great, but it's going to be a goodie. I want to welcome all of the women that are tuning in via the live stream inside our Facebook group. Welcome. And I want to welcome the women that are tuning in on replay. It has been an incredible week thus far. We're on day 7. Day 7. Yeah, day 7. And we've still got 3 days to go, really. All of today, tomorrow, and Saturday. So yeah, it's just such a gift to be here with you all. I trust that you're all journeying in your own way and through your own rhythm, and that the unfoldings are taking place in perfect timing and alignment for you. I'm definitely feeling the deeper undercurrent that has been guiding me throughout this week, and unlocking and awakening the different pieces that need to be unlocked and awakened. And I really hope that you're seeing yourself inside this container from, opening ceremony on Friday and our ceremony on Friday evening right through till the following Saturday as a container, as a beginning and an end to this time together. And not only are we in this portal together, we're in the grander portal of the spiritual alignment of the planets. And also just our own Hyrie, welcome, sweetheart. Yeah, so there's and we're also right at the halfway point between winter and spring. We're coming into the spring equinox. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's obviously opposite, but there's all these cycles that are kind of simultaneously happening for us. And so when we begin to tune into those, the rhythm of the earth, our own rhythm, this container, where we're at with the planets, it can be lots of different layers to become aware of. But what a gift that we're so supported in these ways. So I am so honored and excited to be here today and have Mel here today with us again to be sharing this topic, which is so important and somewhat still kind of coming out of the woodwork. There's not that many women on the planet that have this level of embodied wisdom and the dedication, time, space, capacity that I know Mel's dedicated to this, to really understand and embody and become a living, breathing transmission of what it means to be woman, what it means to be a woman in rhythm and in harmony with nature and the cycles, and to really be tapped into the shamanic ways of woman, and to be working with the drum in such a sacred and profound way. And so I'm so excited to welcome Mele here today, and to receive her in this transmission and in her wisdom and in the gifts that she's here to share. So welcome, gorgeous woman. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Jaimee. Good morning, ladies, or afternoon, evening to those tuning in later. My name is Melanie Gunn. My muggle name is Melanie Gunn. Some people know me as Mel, and others know me as Mele Mama White Lion. This journey of reclamation has very much been a personal healing journey of my own that has somehow very magically and profoundly woven itself into my life's purpose and my work in the world. I am qualified as a naturopath and as an art therapist. However, my life really led me, through my desire to really rectify my cultural conditioning and really find my true sense of self. really led me to the ancient healing arts and practices and rituals of my Celtic pagan ancestors. And most profoundly, and obviously through my work, my personal work with power plants. So I spent a good 14 years of my life working with sacred power plants, namely ayahuasca and wachuma, San Pedro, for my own personal healing. And they kind of naturally just wove their way into my life. I didn't actually even go looking for them. And when I started working with them, they weren't quite as, accessible or mainstream as they are at the moment. And so they kind of found me. And as such, I've kind of become a really devoted student, actually, to the plants. And they've really helped me strip back the cultural conditioning and the amnesia of, the Western psyche that I have grown up in. And really helped me recall and reclaim my own sort of shamanic nature and the practices and the paradigm that have actually become my anchor in the world at this time. And so the pieces that I'm sort of sharing with you this morning are really kind of essential threads to my own life work, personally and professionally. And, I can spend a whole weekend, if not a whole week, facilitating, supporting, guiding people and women and children through this process of coming back into relationship with our shamanic nature, and also into the remembrance and reclamation for ourselves of what lives in our blood and in our bones and in our DNA. Because this memory is beyond mind memory, it's beyond comprehensive memory. It's actually stored in our blood and in our bones and in our genetic material. And that's the beauty of it, because, despite the forces that tried to and continue to try to eradicate this way of human nature, there's no way to destroy it. It actually is encoded in our genetic material. So I'm going to do my very best to take us really deep this morning with the short little window of time that we've got, to speak to the core truth and essence of it. If I happen to go over time and some of you have got other things that you need to tend to, then I don't want to be feeling rushed or cut myself short. I really want to be able to give what needs to be gifted in this space, and you can always tune in a little bit later to get the rest of it. The beauty of this way of working. Before we get started, I'd really want to actually drop us in with the drum. And as I continue to sort of open up and share, the invitation is really actually, to possibly close down your eyes for the duration of this session, to bring all of your energy and your attention into your body. Because when we close down the eyes, we're able to listen from a felt sense. We're able to listen with the body. We're able to assimilate information through the body. And we're able to really track and gauge where that information is landing, what it's activating, what it's coming up against, what it's releasing and opening, and what feels true to you. So this is an opportunity to take what feels true to you and to allow whatever else that is not, necessarily landing, to just let it wash through you. When we sit here with our eyes open, so much information comes through the eyes that our minds are very overactivated, overstimulated, and it all runs through the mind and kind of gets lost, really, sometimes in translation. So I'm going to invite you to make yourself really comfortable. You might even want to snuggle up and put an eye pillow over your eyes. Whatever you need to do to really drop into your body. And always, when we go into this inner world and terrain, the invitation first and foremost is to connect with the breath. And the reason for this is that through the spirit of the air and the breath and the inspiration and expiration, we're able to come home fully to the body. And it's only through the body and in the body that we actually awaken the inner soul light and the inner terrain, the sensory perception, the shamanic paradigm of what it means to be human, woman, sentient, sovereign. And breathing into the inner terrain and allowing everything else from this morning to just gently dissolve, wash away anything that came before this portal of time, to just dissolve into the background and be completely present to each breath and the transmission of this sharing and this time together. As you begin to concentrate on the sound and the beat of the drum, just bringing all of your attention and intention into your heart. All of the energy, focus, awareness into the intelligence of the body. And then deeper still into the womb cave, where the sacral chakra illuminates the creative power at the center of the womb space. It's inhabiting the space within you and grounding, deepening into that inner terrain. That space of ancient, primordial, intrinsic, natural wisdom. We are the women, we've come to drum. We are the channel between the earth and the sun. We hold the wisdom of the ancient ways. We will bring peace to these troubled days. We are the women, we've come to drum. We are the channel between the earth and the sun. We hold the wisdom of the ancient ways. We will bring peace to these troubled days. We are the women, we've come to drum. We are the channel between the earth and the sun. We hold the wisdom of the ancient ways. peace to these troubled days. We will bring peace. Breathing deeply in, drinking from this infinite well of feminine wisdom that lives in your blood and in your womb and in the cycles and in the seasons. In the building of the lining of the uterus, in the shedding and the letting go and the releasing and the dying to ourselves. From our childhood and our innocence to becoming a young woman and the budding of our breasts and the bleeding, the initiation, the first initiation at such a young age into the mysteries, into the medicine, into the magic, the magnificence of woman to carry a womb, to month by month, moon by moon, cycle by cycle, season by season, continuously be reborn, to give life, to create, and then to have to let that go, like leaves falling off the trees back into the earth, to let it go, to sacrifice, to surrender, to release, and to replenish in the mystery and in the void of that time when we dip into the shadow realm, when we're between the worlds, when we're no longer able to necessarily keep up with the outside world and to do all the mundane tasks that society calls of us, when our body says, no, stop, come home, sleep, rest, close your eyes, listen. That is the descent, the monthly descent into the shadow realms. And from those shadow realms, we naturally, physiologically and spiritually are reborn. And the light returns and the energy returns and we rise again. And never ever the same, always some part of us is new and reborn and shape-shifted. And in this space we come into contact with our animalistic, primal nature as woman. We come into contact with our ability to commune with the forces that turn the seasons just so naturally and graciously. The forces that bring the wind and the rain and the thunder and the lightning and parts the clouds and illuminates the warmth of the sun on the skin and makes the river flow through our veins. As shamanic creatures, we as women know fully, wholeheartedly this reality, this shamanic paradigm. And from this place, I call forward the red thread through each one of us, the lineage of all women, right back to the beginning of time. to be here with us in spirit and to be woven in this rich tapestry of womanhood, to fill all the spaces between us, like the blood permeating the body and the cells, holding us all together, to awaken the bloodline through which we are all connected as one woman. And so the term shamanic pertains to this characteristic of being able to enter altered states of consciousness, to elicit healing, to communicate with spirit, and to journey between the physical and non-physical worlds. And I feel like most women, consciously or unconsciously, know how to do all these things and are being trained through the obstacles and the challenges and the life lessons and the reflections and the projections of their own life are in a shamanic training ground to remember how to navigate altered states of consciousness, how to heal ourselves, how to communicate with spirit, to listen deeply, dadiri, to listen to the spirit of the land, and to journey between physical and non-physical worlds, to be able to imagine, use the imaginative faculties to enter these other realities that exist. They're not made up, they're not fabricated, they're not illusions, they're very real. We are co-creating them and building them and sustaining them. The visionary, the seer, the ability to see in the dark. And so the shaman, traditionally was considered the spiritual healer or the guide or the intermediary between the human and the spirit world. They were essentially responsible and still are responsible for healing illness, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, performing rituals for themselves or on behalf of the community, communicating with spirit and spirits, animate forces in what we consider to be the invisible multidimensional realms, communicating with ancestors, benevolent ancestors and unwell ancestors, and nature beings, spirits, devas, fairies, gnomes, trolls, unicorns, dragons, and journeying to these other realms through shamanic trance dancing, closing the eyes, breathing repeatedly, chanting, going into altered states through drumming, plant medicines, fasting. And so shamanism in its essence is a cross-cultural ancient practice. It doesn't belong to any one particular religion or any one particular people. It's found in Siberia, in Mongolia, in the Amazon jungle, in North and South America, in Africa, Australia, Northern Europe, and, quite possibly all throughout the world. And it's experiential. It's based on direct contact with the spirit world for wisdom, healing, and guidance. And when I say the spirit world, this is not necessarily outside of us. It may be at times energies and animate forces that are outside of us, but the spirit that lives within us, the ancestors that live within us, the totem animal spirits and guides that actually are a part of us. And so, like I've touched on, the shamanic practices include drumming and rattling, vision questing, spending days out in nature without food, external stimulation, no distractions. It involves connecting with animals to receive their guidance, their instincts, their powers, the ability to visualize ourselves in an animal or visualize the animal and harness it within ourselves and take on its instincts, take on its characteristics, take on its essence. The ability to practice soul retrieval in gathering fragmented parts of the self for ourselves or for others. Ceremonies and rituals which can be very simple and basic and extremely elaborate, and well, orchestrated. Energy healing, whether it be body work with the hands, whether it be using the voice, through words, singing, channeling, chanting, humming, whistling, and working with the elements and nature spirits. And so a huge part of the shamanic paradigm is, the understanding that the air and the earth and the fire and the water and the ether are part of our family. They are part of what enables us to exist here, and that we are very much made of them. That the water, we're made primarily of water, that we must breathe air to exist, that the fire in our digestive system helps us assimilate and break down food, nutrients to fuel our physical earth body. And so the more that we, as women start to remember that we are not alone actually in this world, that we come equipped with all of this wisdom inside of ourselves, that the elements are just waiting here for us to remember, for us to sing, to commune, to conjure, to acquire their support and their guidance. Then we really come into our power as women, which is something that has been deliberately robbed, stolen, burnt, destroyed, demonized, by the rise of the patriarchy. And this wasn't just against women. This was against it was a cultural genocide. It was the same thing that we're seeing time and time again now in the modern world, with Indigenous people having their languages taken from them, having their land taken from them, being taken from their land, not being allowed to practice certain things. This has been happening all throughout history, and it most certainly happened to my Celtic pagan ancestors, and I would dare to say to pretty much every person's ancestry somewhere along, back in time, have undergone and experienced either directly or indirectly the impacts of cultural genocide. And for whatever purpose, and for whatever reason, it obviously was needed to happen, because it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't meant to happen. But part of the amnesia and part of the forgetting and part of the loss is what is, part of these cycles and seasons of things dying and being destroyed and being composted and falling apart. It's part of the nature of this existence here in this planet, in this universe, is that things come to pass. They are laid to rest. And then what is of substance, what is of value, what is essential, necessary, essential, vital, just germinates again within the darkness of the mystery and the soil and is reborn. And right now we are in a time of a shamanic renaissance, and there is an uprising of this ancient feminine mystery wisdom that is rising to the surface just naturally. Nobody's making it happen. It's just growing out of the darkness towards the light. And ourselves as women are being transformed by this energy and being informed by this energy and being invited to embody and to rise and to take on the responsibility to midwife this once again. But a big part of that is, having to face the trauma of our own experience and the trauma of our ancestors, because it was brutal and it was terrifying, and it was, for the people that were in the firing line of the initial damage that was done, it was, beyond, what anyone should ever have to endure. And so to find the courage here and now as women in the world to realize, to recognize, to create a space of safety, to be able to feel through that material, to heal through that material, to cry, to dance, to shake, to fucking swear and to pray and to bleed and to have to harness the courage to bring these gifts to life is no small task. It's probably the great purpose of our time as women, to bring these truths back to life in ourselves, just for ourselves. And so I'm going to share with you some words that I've woven together to just, even more succinctly speak to how this relates to the drum, how it relates to women across the world, how it relates to these times that we're in. Across ancient cultures and Indigenous traditions, women have long been regarded as natural conduits of spiritual power, intuition, and healing. Rooted in cycles of the earth and rhythms of the moon, the shamanic nature of woman connects deeply to the unseen realms, those places where spirit, nature, and consciousness seated in the human heart meet. Among the sacred tools once widely held by women is the drum, a powerful symbol and instrument of transformation, communication, and reclamation. The drum has been described as the heartbeat of Mother Earth and a portal between worlds, the first sound we hear as our eardrums form in utero, the pulsing of our mother's blood. In many Indigenous cultures, it was women who first drummed, sang, and called in spirit. Their voices and rhythms summoned guidance, healed wounds, and marked transitions such as birth, menstruation, and death. The Siberian shamanism, women from the Siberian shamanism were revered as dreamers and vision keepers. They were sought after, sought out. People would come miles to receive guidance and information from these wise women. Parts of Africa and the pre-Islamic Arabia, women trance danced and drummed, and it was essential to the community's well-being, health and well-being. It would clear out stagnant energy and dysfunctional energy and create space for vital, fresh energy to flow into their bodies and into the community. However, with the rise of patriarchal religion and colonial systems, the image of the female shaman and her drum was suppressed, demonized, and deliberately erased. Drumming by women was banned in many cultures and seen as rebellious, wild, and even dangerous. The archetype of the wise woman was transformed into the witch. And the drum, which was once her instrument of healing and transmission, was silenced. And all throughout the Mediterranean, the drum was burnt with the women. And there, in some places, there are no actual relics, remnants of the drums that these people were once using. But as I started with, the memory of that has never fully disappeared, because it lives in the stories and in the dreams and in the ancestral bones of humanity, but it lives also in the trees and in the animals and in the stones that participated in the creation of this instrument. Very much a part of the creation of the drum. So today on the planet, we are very much witnessing and partaking in a global reclamation. Women from all walks of life are returning to the drum, some of them returning scared and uncertain, nervous, unsure. Some of them returning curious and cold, not knowing why. And some of them returning with fires in their belly, knowing fully well and why they need their drum back. So, this isn't just an instrument of remembrance, it's an instrument of resistance. It's a way that we keep ourselves well and we keep ourselves centered in this wheel of life, in this circle of life, in this shamanic paradigm where we are grounded in the heart and the handle of this drum, of this shamanic tool, this spiritual technology. And in contemporary shamanic circles, women's drumming is being used to connect with ancestral wisdom, to summon up lost rights or to create new rights, and to evoke divine feminine energy, to call it forward, to bring it to the surface. And women all around the world are singing and praying and gathering and circling and calling this energy forwards. And probably many, many more than what we even are aware of. Many of them would be doing it in the quiet, humble, dark night of their own home. This is not a big, loud production. This is quiet, soul, spiritual work happening. Red tent gatherings, moon lodges, ceremonial circles have all become these safe spaces where the rhythm and the voice become pathways to empowerment. And at the moment, the majority of women and people that I work with are healing their throat chakra. They're healing the trauma of being silenced. They're healing the trauma of being prosecuted for speaking their truth, for singing their songs. And we're having to reclaim the expressive power of our voices. And the drum is very much a part of that. And our expressive voice and our mouth, our ability to articulate and communicate and give birth to create words and spells, is also very much associated with the womb, with the pelvic space, and the energy that's contained there, our expressive creative power there, and clearing this channel from the womb to the voice through the heart. So the women's frame drum, this circular drum, is strongly associated with the goddess, particularly Inanna and Artemis, and it's being rediscovered as a symbol of unity and sacred time. There's a beautiful body of work that you may or may not be aware of, When the Drummers Were Women by Lane Redmond. Her book changed my life, and I'm sure is changing many other women's lives, where she speaks to a lot of the ancient spiritual mythology and the spiritual inheritance and legacy of women through these ancient goddesses, and most of them would have carried a drum and worked with the drum. and their stories, their mythologies are, actual representations of their life journeys, but also metaphorical representations of this process of woman to descend into the darkness, into the underworld, into the abyss, into an unknowing, into the space of death and dying, and to gather, to lose aspects of self, to derobe aspects of self, and then to rise again from the darkness with the strength, with the light, with the gifts, with the power of these cycles of death and rebirth. And so this is not only, physiologically represented in our menstrual cycle, it's also happening spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, on all levels, and mythologically, archetypally occurring. So it's in Lane's book. She states here, in the ancient world, the drummer was the priestess, the healer, the one who bridged worlds. The reclamation of the drum is not just the return of an instrument, but a return to wholeness. It's a call to reawaken the embodied knowledge that has always lived in women's blood, bones, and breath. And as each drumbeat echoes, it dissolves centuries of silence and reactivates the innate power to feel, to know, and to lead from a place of self-worth and self-confidence and self-assuredness, to be self-assured by these invested powers in us that exist within us. And so in reclaiming the drum, women are not only remembering who they are, they're reshaping the future. They're resurrecting these ancient ways and bringing them back to life in a new way. Not, trying to be, archaeologists and scavenging for leftover remnants out there in the world, but actually finding them within the bones within ourselves and bringing them to life through our guidance from spirit. And so, this work with the rose lineage and women's mysteries, all of it is entwined with women's shamanism and the sacred drum. And they're all related. They're all part of the same story, the same mythology, the same resurrection, and the same exposure of the truth that's happening right now around Mary Magdalene's journey and who and what she was really doing, and what she birthed into the world, and the legacy that many women are recalling into being in this day and age. And so, as we follow the guidance that's occurring in our life, nature is always communicating with us. Spirit is always communicating with us. Signs come to us in many different ways, whether it's through witnessing animals crossing our path and doing a little bit of research about what they mean, or books popping up over and over again, or being exposed even through social media channels, and the craziness of an algorithm. Spirit is communicating to us all the time through all of these different channels. And we, all of us, are being kind of in our own way, in our own path, being led to this collective remembering, this collective rewiring, this collective responsibility that women actually carry. And a big part of that is to heal through the victim archetype, and to find peace with what happened, to stop warring with ourselves and with one another as women, to stop comparing and to competing and to subjugating and to blindsiding and to pointing out and to name calling and to tearing down, to disengage from the damage that was, the distortion that was created in that all those timelines ago. It was created all those timelines ago where people, women and men, were turned against one another. You would have to dob your neighbor in for being a witch just so that you would not be perhaps accused of being a witch yourself. And this energy, this frequency, it lives on in us, and in subtle and obvious ways we can live it out. And so a big part of that is to find it in our hearts to make peace with what's happened, find it in our hearts to lay it to rest, to acknowledge that for some reason, somewhere, for some why, it was meant to all happen, and to simply return to what is true and what is natural, our relationship with the elements, our relationship with the plants as food, and most importantly as medicine. So many incredible herbs and plants that have been forgotten, have been banned, have been misused, have been turned into pharmacology, like prescription medications, returning to natural substances, to plant magic and plant lore, to the cycles of the moon, to finding songs that open your heart and help you soften into your true voice, not into your performance voice, not into your good girl sounding amazing voice, into your raw, real, fucking primal heart, body voice. The kind of voice that women need to find when they're pushing babies out of their vaginas, that kind of voice. And what really has struck me and stuck with me and empowered me, in all of my challenges, and I have had many, and has been the actual physical ability to hold this drum and to hold this beater and to have my shield and my sword of truth in my hands, and to be spiritually protected by this paradigm. Because despite all the odds and despite all the people that have perished through this horrific power of capitalism and colonialism, the essence cannot be destroyed. The truth of these things cannot be destroyed. And when I find myself at home in the center of that, in the truth of that, I also know that I cannot be destroyed and I cannot be harmed. And, in this time of particularly, what we all endured recently with the corona scenario, spiritual hygiene has never been so important. The ability to protect our own energetic sphere and to know what is truth and what is not truth and how to take care of ourselves has never ever been more important than it is right now. And I really feel that the root of shamanic practice, of reclaiming these ancient ways, and to having your own drum, your own instrument, your own songs, your own practices, your own rituals, will create an atmosphere of health and well-being, because we are whole, and in wholeness there is healing. We bring homeostasis back into our lives. We come back into balance. We find the center where You know, everything that is horrible and crazy and bad about this world is just as good and amazing and as beautiful. And to be able to be the shaman in this day and age, to embody the shamanic archetype and qualities, we need to be able to sit in equanimity in the bridge between the polarization of what is taking place right now. And I feel like the greatest calling and challenge of this time as we transition from the age of Pisces to Aquarius is the transition from God is outside of me and this authority knows better than me and somebody's going to give me permission and tell me what I can and can't do, to God exists within me, the God and the Goddess exists within me. I know what is right for me. I know what I need. I know my gifts. I know my worth. I know my value. And I'm going to create from that place the kind of world that I want to exist in. And, in this time of polarization, we can see it in the external world with the advanced AI technology that's taking place at the same time as the shamanic renaissance is taking place. And they're seemingly like polar opposites, and yet they're actually somehow one and the same thing. They are nature, nature, earth, mother, feminine, grounded, physical world, and they are consciousness, celestial, masculine, divine, spiritual, cosmic, beyond comprehension, visionary realities. And we are being initiated. Humanity is being initiated into how can we now be the bridge between these two polar opposites? How do we journey from our heart into the roots of the earth, into the wisdom, the natural wisdom and healing and power and fertility and abundance and deep mystery of the earth? How do we travel and utilize and gather and accumulate and to really harness this incredible celestial light frequency advanced technology that is streamlining into the planet right now? How do we really receive the gift of that, actually not demonize it, receive the gift of that and harness it and bring them both into unity and unification and wholeness in our human hearts? How do we receive these extreme polarities and gifts and be the bridge to be able to embody the divine union of both and to recognize that they're both holy and whole? They're both extremely potent, powerful, light, benevolent, and they also both hold shadow depending on, where you want to play in that field of experience. But within the wholeness of this shamanic paradigm in the circle, when we cast the circle of our awareness from the east, the north, the west, the south, above, below, and within, it's all welcome and it all has a place. And the sooner we are able to just bow our heads to the earth and say, thank you, God and Goddess, for the profundity of this life, not just this life as me here now, but all of the lifetimes that went before, and all of the intelligence of all of my ancestors, and all of the pain of all of the people, and all of the beauty of everything that's ever been created. And to find and make peace. Because at the center, when we stop and we close our eyes and we breathe into our hearts, right there, right deep in the center of this paradigm. It is our invitation and our responsibility, if we choose to accept it, to find peace and to make peace and to emanate peace with what is. And then to, be a shamanic midwife, a death doula, a woman in the world creating beauty, reverence, devotion to these forces that, animate our lives and live through us. So I'm just going to give a moment of silence for all of that to settle, find its way through each of the breaths. Deeper into your body. And perhaps even you might want to sort of keep your eyes closed and just breathe and move through the body. Just allowing this information and this transmission to just find its way to weave deeper into your being, into your bones, into your blood, to find its place where it might want to take root, to settle, to integrate, assimilate. As I share this song with you, I invite you to listen, to receive, to perhaps, if you have your own drum or a rattle, you might want to join along and bring this energy into your own space, into your home, into your heart, into physicality, manifestation there. If not, you can tap on your chest or on your body with your hands, or just massage it into your skin as we sing. The words are super simple, and I really encourage you, in the safety of your own home, to sing along with me and allow this portal of time we've shared to really ripple out into all of the cells of your body, into your house, into your home, into your hands, into your work in the world, and create a wave of vibrational frequency change and healing, transformation and celebration. Giving thanks to all the forces seen and unseen, named and unnameable, who are continuously co-creating this miraculous moment to be together in this way. Giving thanks to the guardians of the east, the north, the west and the south, above, below and within, for continuously and always holding us in this sacred circle of life. Giving thanks to the elemental intelligence of the fire, the air, the earth and the water and the ether, for this sacred family, familia sagrada. Giving thanks to all of our totem animals and the spirit of the white lion and the butterfly clan for being my guiding light through this life. Giving thanks to all of our plant teachers, power plants, Mother Ayahuasca, San Pedro, and all of our plant allies and teachers that are guiding us and supporting us in this life at this time to maintain health and well-being. Giving thanks to all of the crystals, Davic kin, for anchoring this celestial light and creating a web of intelligence growing from deep within the earth, sitting on our altars, at our hearts, by our ears, through our homes and our hands. Giving thanks to all of our ancestors, of our benevolent ancestors, of our matriarchal and patriarchal lineage, and also to those unwell ones who are simply trying to find their way home, back into belonging within this sacred circle, so that they too may rest in peace. Giving thanks to all of the ancient wisdom traditions and wisdom keepers and custodians, the indigenous peoples, all across this blue globe of Gaia, despite all of the odds, keeping these ancient ways alive and well through their blood, their sweat, their tears. Thank you for the song lines that run through this sacred ground and through our blood and bones, to the intelligence in our genetic material being awakened and activated at this time, and ultimately and always bowing to the divine intelligence of the heart, where all of these energies are unified as one through the power of love. So my loves, I encourage and invite you to, after receiving me, to take some time to journal or to draw or to sing or to dance or to make some delicious food or to drink some water, and to allow this session to assimilate and integrate. I'm not going to bring too much or at all any conversation into this space, because I really want it to have time to stay there in the wisdom of the body. But if at any point in time you feel to connect with me, please, you can find me through the avenues here at Mama White Lion, or please share in the little thread that will appear magically beneath this recording, your experience, your feedback, your comments, your realizations, your input into this conversation that we are having now as women. And I really deeply am very appreciative of your time and your energy, and for making this session with me a priority in your life. And it looks like we're going to finish at 11:11. Give it one more minute. Thank you, Jaimee. Thank you to all of you that have been here live with me. I really deeply appreciate and value your ability to help anchor and ground this in the places that you call home. And I wish you all an incredibly beautiful, nourishing, wholesome day. Enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thank you, my love.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
That was unreal. So somatic and so deep, your voice. Such a transmission. As I was receiving you, I could feel the book that's in you being read in your voice, and like the ability for that wisdom to be shared so somatically
Mm.
through your voice. And yeah, I really receive it. I had to go and get my drums and just kind of like be with them. And it was just like, it's anchoring even deeper. And, having my rattle that I made with you, just these like really physical, tangible tools that you are the midwife of, the conduit for. And I'm so blessed and grateful and so excited to see your life's journey unfold. Honestly, it just feels so divine. So
Oh,
thank you.
love. Thank you so much. And look, I'm my God, I'm just, this time of year is so intense for me. It's like I need a fucking army of people to help me do the things that I'm being told to do. There's
Mm,
just not enough time in the day or night to get it all out. And I am really feeling the need to start recording. Like even this morning as I was driving back from dropping off Ayla, I was like, I need to set myself up in a space for a weekend. I need all
yep.
the lights set up. I need the cameras set up. I need all my tools and my instruments. And I just need to record myself
Mm,
sharing a whole bunch of different things and just get it done in one weekend.
hmm
And then, or week, whatever, 2 days, 3 days, and then just give it to someone and be like, make this digestible. Like, just package it, do the technological stuff that I don't want to be doing, and,
mm,
somehow, yeah, have, you know, a body of recorded work or content or whatever, that can be used in a multitude of ways.
mm,
So that I don't need to just keep inventing the wheel and ad hoc
hmm
pieces all the time, that I have a whole resource bank there of recorded material to just gather bits from. So if you come across, I mean, I was just like, I just need to, yeah, set a time and get all the equipment. And yeah, I'm really feeling like that needs to happen. When it happens, I'm not sure, but it'll be beautiful.
mm. As you're sharing, honey, there's like this pull in me to be like, hey, let me come and be with you on that weekend and help, with the lighting and the camera, and I'll make food and, kind of just be that if you want. I don't know if this even
Oh,
lands for you, but
oh,
I feel kind of the magic in that and the fun in that for
yeah,
us and for me to be with you in that. I mean, I can definitely direct with the technological stuff, and maybe even map out a framework of where to begin. I don't know if I'm the person to technically do it. I mean, I could help in the initial stages, but if I come across anyone that could be that, absolutely.
yeah.
But if
I
it
imagine.
feels
Yeah, I would love the support. I'd love to do it with you. And I don't think it's going to be necessarily a one woman kind of situation at all.
Yeah, yeah.
The sort of download and the little sign that I received this morning is that, right now we're kind of going to be getting teamed up with our soul pod teams. We're
Mm,
going to need to be delivering, whatever it is, the information, but no one of us has all the gold.
mm,
It's like
mm,
we need to have a team where this person's got these skills and this person's got these skills and this person's got these skills, and we all just bring it together. Um,
mm.
and so it's not so much about me and my thing, it's just that I've got something like that just happened to contribute.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
definitely need, in my team, I definitely need someone that's going to, be helping with all sorts of other things that need to happen, even the
Mm,
finding of the right space and the finding of the equipment
mm,
and the setting up of the scenes and the making sure we're all fed. And,
yeah.
can be it could be a group setup situation so that everybody gets something out of it, that it's not just about me, that we find a way that everybody gets something out of it or everybody can make the most of it. It's like
Totally. Yeah. And the wisdom gets shared.
that's right. You set up the space with all the equipment, and then you have like, because you also just can't be filming all day. It's like one person might do the morning session,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then someone else does the afternoon session, gets a whole bunch of stuff, and we just make the most of having the time and the space and the beautiful space and the equipment and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm really sensing that. And I can really feel somewhat my role in that. I feel like I've been preparing for this for many years in all these different spaces and places of like what it needs to look or some version of it. I don't want to take over, but I can definitely see that vision and almost like a retreat for
Mm,
the women that are facilitating,
yeah.
but then they also get to walk out of it nourished, having shared their medicine, their wisdom, their love, their heart, and with all of this tangible fucking content to go out into the world for their business. Like
Yeah.
maybe I can, maybe there's like a pricing up. Like, how did you go with Cat? Did you use Cat for your course, the
No,
filming?
no. For the feather fan?
Yeah.
No. Katrin. Yes, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, there was a few different people. Yes, so she came and she helped me film my feather fan crafting course. I have it recorded,
Yep.
edited it, and I've got it on a USB stick, and that's as far as I've gotten with that. Uh,
Okay, cool.
and it's amazing. She was awesome, and it was beautiful. I mean, we only had 2 afternoon sessions together, and quite a bit of editing, which was it was really great. I think it cost me just a bit over $1,000, maybe
Okay. Yep.
1,300.
And how many camera angles did she set up for you?
Only two really.
Okay, yep, yep.
um but I'm in the process. I've got I've started employing a business manager and
Yes.
fixing up my website so that I will, so I've actually got somewhere to sell the feather fan crafting course and actually receive the money for it, because I was like, I don't know how to launch it. Like, I didn't want to just hodgepodge launch it and then be like
Yeah, yeah,
sending it annually to people.
yeah.
But I can definitely feel that once this website is really,
Mm,
grounded, that yeah, the feather fan crafting course and even the books that I'm, like I've got this book that I've made.
yes.
And,
Oh, wow, honey. Did you do that art?
no, this is basically like it's all done on Canva.
Yeah.
But what I'm gonna do is I'm actually like, this is just the proof, and what I'll do is based on what I've put into different places, I'm just gonna create my own art, and like from that, because I pieced that together from like 3 or 4 different elements,
Of course.
and then I could just create my own version of that.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
plan is to, yeah, the plan is to get all the illustrations changed in there, like replace them with my own. But anyway, I've got this book and I'm putting together a natural rhythms version for the Southern Hemisphere with rituals and folklore and
Mhm.
so, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's just like, oh my God, I wish I had more time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
all in good time, like I have to remember this is like the beginning of the next 9 years. Like I don't have to have it done by Christmas.
Mhm.
But yeah, it would be amazing to dream into the calling
Mm,
together and staying attuned to people.
mm.
Maybe Katrin would be interested in doing that, or at least, letting us hire the material. I'm not sure. I mean, the equipment, or, like I just tried to find, I'd like to find a cost-effective way of doing it.
Yeah, yeah. I was just,
Like to
yeah.
find the way that the person who's recording or got the equipment and doing the editing, obviously they're going to be reimbursed, but perhaps even that they get something out of it from the experience, so that it's more of a you know of an exchange situation. Or if I pay for the venue, then they contribute the equipment and the or
Mm,
whatever.
mm,
There's going to be a
mm.
lot of costs involved.
Yeah.
We can work, we can, that's just, we can work that out when we get there. But
Yeah, so I'm kind of sensing this tiered approach. Like when I was first hearing you, there was a part of me that's like, am I just coming to your house for the weekend and we set it up with our iPhones and we, not hodgepodge, but we do
oh,
it and it's
oh,
cost effective and it's the first thing. There's that version. Then
right.
there's like a medium version of like, okay, we book somewhere. There's a handful of intentionally selected sisters that are, that are at the point of like, I'm taking myself and my medicine to the next level, and it kind of comes together. And then there's like this kind of like, I've got this standard of excellence where it's like, the videographer's there and we're in a retreat center and it's like, we're getting massages and like,
Oh,
it's like the,
that's great.
we'll get there. So it's a vision. So, and I'm kind of, and then as you were also sharing with some of these other visions that I've been holding in the ether for some time of like this mastermind slash container that has been on my heart for the women that of me kind of being the anchor of it, or the pill, or the calling together of us, of the women that are actually here to do big shit in the world, but we're at that point where we're growing together essentially.
Mm.
um and we've been walking the path somewhat alone for a long time. And then it's like, what does it look like to intentionally journey with the intention of creation and our business and our medicine in the world for a closed container of time,
Mm.
where we're investing in that energy, that cauldron of like, the intention for us being here is to grow ourselves into the leaders that we're here to be,
Mm.
essentially. And we're kind of doing it side by side.
Yeah.
Um, so there's all the ping, ping, ping kind of happening. Um, and then there's also this entity of the medicine of women, which I feel like I haven't kind of let her reveal herself as much yet. Like it still feels like I'm still listening to what that wants to be.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
anyways, so there's all of that there.
Yeah.
My human Jaimee's like, I'm so available to support you and to be there. And then there's not that there's another non-human Jaimee, but there's like the other version. Like, I don't know. I think I'm here in the listening, and I'm here in
Yeah.
the co-creation and the support.
Yeah, well, I'm totally up for it. I mean, I'll totally keep you posted. My friend Michelle has got a beautiful dome. Not
Oh, of course, I've been there.
Yeah, that's right. So, there's a possibility that she might just let me use that space. And, I don't have an aversion to just setting up a bunch of, like a laptop and an iPhone. I would probably make sure that I invested in good microphones, just
Yeah.
quality, and work out some situation with lighting, so that the scene is just set and the lights remain the same, and you just change the things in there, and maybe you just film at a certain time of day for whatever days, just
Mm,
to minimize changes in lighting. But that could be a very easy, near, close to home. My home is not really suitable. It's too dark. Like I can't
yeah.
even, I have to sit on my veranda to get enough light on my face so that I'm not all grainy. So it's just not really suitable inside the house. But yeah, I'm going to have a chat with her and we'll just see. I have a feeling that it'll all come, just
Yeah,
staying open
yeah,
to it. And I've been meaning to invest in some little microphone, thing that you can hook into your laptop and have plugged into you, and it just changes everything really. So it really is just that and some lights.
yeah. Fair
And
enough.
surely lights, yeah, surely you can just borrow lights, hire lights from somewhere for a couple of days, and you just set them up and
Hmm.
yeah. I think in some ways for me at this stage, it would be so much easier to just, yeah, to have, just have you and myself and even Michelle, just
Yeah,
setting up and doing it in a way that just feels supernatural. Because as soon as, like, even with Kat,
yeah,
she was amazing. She was super great and really helped kind of direct and things. But I just just immediately feel like I'm performing and immediately
yeah. I get it.
stage and really feel kind of weird. And
Yeah,
it'd be easier for me just to be able to, go into it like I did just then and
yeah,
then have someone, look over what I've created and edit it into, bite-sized chunks.
yeah. Yeah, I can sense. I love that we went all the way there, and then I think you're right, landed in just in that.
Hey,
And I
if
can
you have retreats with massages and filming crews, I am on board.
we'll get there, babe. We'll get there. Oh, yeah, cool.
All right.
Yeah, I'm here for that, babe. Just look at the calendar and the dates and I don't think the lighting's going to be that bad. Do you know? Like I've kind of done some research in the past, because I wanted to set up podcast studios and all this sort of stuff. And I mean, having a home is a really basic need for that. Um, um, so yeah, I don't think, yes, there's the hiring lights, but I also don't think they're that far out of a price range these days, to have that kind of equipment for
Yeah.
yourself, knowing that you can go anywhere and have your light and your mic and you can kind of create any space you need.
Yeah,
So
I've got a friend, Renee, who does the open mic
yeah.
stuff. She's got all the equipment. I'm going to be down there in a couple of weeks, so I might just get like the whole package details from her and see. It's
Awesome.
probably like a $1,500 investment, really.
Mm, hmm.
Anyways, that's exciting. And so, just to be clear, when I get the link for this and I pop it in my
Yep.
YouTube situation, do you mean you want me to make note that it was done with you, like put your details in there and the women's
I mean,
things like?
honey, if
I'm happy to do that. I just wanted to be sure what you meant.
yeah, I was thinking about it as I was walking. I was like, oh, it'd be great to just say like this was originally recorded in the Medicine of Women online festival.
Right.
Like that was kind of all I was thinking. If it feels right. If it doesn't feel right, it might
Totally.
not feel right in every channel. Like it might go on your website in the future or whatever. Like,
No,
so I
I'm happy to
trust
credit. I'm
you.
happy to credit where it came through. That's totally fine. I'm even happy to, even speak. Yeah, I'm totally happy. Just want to be clear what you meant.
That was all I meant. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think this will prepare as soon as we hit end, it'll do its little thing and it should be available in a couple of hours. So I'll just send that through when it is.
Beautiful.
Yeah, cool. And I'm just curious, are you going to be in closing ceremony on Saturday?
Saturday, I'm going to try. I am
Okay.
not sure because I've got a friend's belly blessing and I need to be setting up the altar at 11.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So I could be like on it and I could be just preparing things whilst I'm tuned in and, I'm not going to be able
It's
to sit and give my attention.
no, that's fine. I'm also happy if you'd prefer to not be on and tune into the replay and just be present that as you're in ceremony with the altar that the thing's closing down. I mean, that's totally fine with me.
Oh,
Uh,
well, look, I would prefer to be present at 10 on Saturday, have my video off, and be doing what I need to be doing, and then be able to do my own little, closing down like portal thing, and then
yeah.
just disappear out and not. I just think it's nice to even when they're just names in boxes on screens, it's nice to know that there's people in the space.
Yeah. The only thing is it's at 12 on Saturday,
Oh
not
shit!
10.
I thought it was 10.
It's 12.
Oh, then I definitely am really not going to be able to do that.
I'm just going to
Unless,
triple check that I haven't got the time wrong on some schedule somewhere.
Yeah, I thought it said 10. Anyway, I could be wrong.
The amount of stuff that is in my phone from the last weeks alone is
Yeah, I bet.
next level.
Yeah, it
Where
says
is this
12,
schedule?
it says 12 till 2
Oh, okay, good.
on the
Okay,
main
good.
one. Yeah, so 12 till 2. Look, I might
Yeah.
even we'll see. I might even be able to just open up my I just think it's I just even if I'm not able to be fully present, I think it's just even just energy. It's nice to just see that there's people plugged in, you know,
Yeah.
just you and one other.
Beautiful. Yeah, no, totally. It's uh, I'm gonna be yeah, it's just I feel like I'm just gonna kind of they'll be closing down the portal, but I'm kind of gonna open the space a bit wider for all of our collective prayers and for that energy to be really there and ground it through a despacho offering.
Beautiful.
And yeah, and then kind of like close the whole thing down and
Okay.
then, send it away and then let the dust settle over the coming days. And then we'll come together next Wednesday just as facilitators for who can and just
Yeah.
kind of
Debrief.
have a moment, debrief. Yeah. But I imagine that I kind of get the sense that the energy is going to kind of still be finding its way for some time.
Sure.
So anyways, but I just thought I'd share my intention so you're aware.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm glad I wasn't, tuning in at 10 o'clock on Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, me too. That would have been disappointing.
All right, love. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to try and get into the other two sessions with what's Adam's doing one today, is he? Tonight.
Adam's tomorrow. Adam's sound
Tomorrow.
healings tomorrow. That'll be really beautiful to receive that one. Like
Yeah.
really beautiful. Today is Odell's soul song
Yep.
at 3 and Abby's Blue Lotus movement session tonight at
Right.
7.
Okay.
Um, and then there's a Shakti yoga tomorrow morning, and then Adam's session at 4 tomorrow afternoon. Adam's session feels significant from like just an energetic spiritual sense. Like I think